Well, welcome back to my shed. I was hoping to get back to you with the first test ride with our new luggage on the G12, but as you can probably hear, the rain rattling off the roof, the weather has just been horrendous. So the G12 is staying exactly where she is, and that's on the ramp. But what we can do now is get on with the crash bars which I want to fit. And there's two reasons why I want to fit these. The first reason is that, well, for obvious reasons, protection, because at £200 a pop, and if the bike falls over, that is one pannier that's wrecked. So I want to make sure that that they're protected. But the other reason is that now that we've actually fitted the panniers, we're now covering the lifting handles for getting the bike onto its centre stand. So I need to find a way of getting something in there so I can actually just lift it onto the centre stand. And what I've come across on the internet is these, which are crash bars. Now apparently they're for a Triumph Bonneville America, which I think is the kind of the bagger version of the Bonneville. And the reason why I chose these is because they don't have any lugs on them. What they've got is they've got threaded inserts in the tube, and because I didn't really want to start hacking off the lugs off these things, because they'd never be in the right place anyway. At least with this, I've got a certain amount of adjustment on here, but unfortunately they're asymmetric. As you can see there, you couldn't get them, could you, with with the same lens either side. So anyway, there we are. But 120 quid off a well-known auction site. You get two bars. You get these powder-coated brackets here. You get various nuts and bolts and spacers and bits and pieces. And I can guarantee that they're not going to fit the bike. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to make them fit. And I think there's going to be a bit of cut and steel, a bit of turning, a bit of drilling. But we'll get them to fit, and they should be fairly rigid when we're done. But I'll get you over to the bike now, and I'll kind of see where we're going to go with this, where the problems are going to lie, because we've got to try and get this to working around, like, the brake mechanisms and that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's crack on, and we'll make a start. So the first thing we need to look at is where we're going to kind of fit this, and I don't really know just which way this would go, and I think we're probably going to have to go this way, because what we need to do here is we need to get clearance. We need to clear the pannier here. So I'm thinking that if we kind of mount our bracket somewhere in here. Now what we've got is we've got powder coated brackets that I can use, and I've got 4 of them, 2 one side and 2 the other, and I'm thinking here that if we were to come out from the frame somewhere between about 20 and 25 mil, I think that is going to, yes, it will, it'll clear us here. So what we'll do is we'll get a degree of protection, so if it does go in its side, if it falls over or whatever, the crash bar will actually take the impact before the pannier. So I think the first thing to do really is to make up a kind of a bracket here. I'm going to back this this bolt out here, the shock absorber bolt. Back that out. I think what we'll do is we'll put a bracket on here. We might make up, I think we might just make up a little spacer to go at the back of this to build this out to about 20. Say 22.5 mil, something like that, nominal. So I think that's the first thing to do. We'll get cracking with that. So I've just knocked up a 5mm. This is acetal. This is it's a sort of an industrial plastic. but it's quite hard wearing stuff. But what it will do is it will just protect the frame, the enameling on the frame here. So that goes over there like that. This is the bolt that goes into the shock absorber, but I've also used the spacer that came with the kit, and also the M10 set screw that goes through there with a washer on the back. So what I'm going to do is just mount this up and just see how this goes in. Now I need to knock that in. Now I want this to hang vertical because it's just in keeping. I want to try and get it in line with the shock absorber, which is about there. So that's us in position now. So we can now have a look at this point here to this point here. But I think, looking at that, I think that's pretty good. And we've also this is coming further out than the pannier as well, which is good. So that I think is probably in the right position. So the next thing really is to look at putting some kind of bracket in here. Whether we actually come up in line with the frame and then come across, which I'm more inclined to do. I'm not really keen on these sort of divergent angles here. I think actually that might be a better idea if we just, if we just came up to this point here and then just went in. But we'll have a look at that. I'm going to sort of do some measuring here just now, and then I'll get back to you with what my plans are on this, because I need to think carefully how this is going to work, especially lifting the weight of the bike through this and how it's all going to sort of tighten up. But I'll need to make some kind of sleeve in here because this comes through here, so we want to be able to pick up on this frame member. This is actually where the sidecar would go in, on the Continental side. On the other side would be the correct side, but at least the bike is fitted with two of these sidecar locating points. So anyway, we'll have a look at this, and I'll get back to you once I've got an idea of where we are with it.